Welcome, friends, haters, gentle lovers, and feeders. Join me as we experience together the most bafflingly interesting person on the internet. On today's episode, Amberlynn Reed does basically nothing. Hello, my friends. Amber has uploaded again, and before we get started, I just want to acknowledge that yes, I know she talked about me. I'm on her radar. I just thought it was funny when she called me an old man. I'm not that much older than she is, and I think she needs to understand that my age is gonna get here pretty quickly. So if she's gonna make any kind of changes, now would be the time. Today's episode is called My Health Has Gone Downhill. I feel my weight gain. We do too. And thoughts on Tammy Slayton. You know, she has always pretended to be the Slayton sisters' best friend. And I don't really keep up with the Slayton sisters, so I don't know like what they're doing. But I'm sure whatever she has to say will be very insightful. If you'd like to like and subscribe, that would literally be hectic. I'm not gonna lie.
Hello, welcome to another vlog. Alright guys, so I just got ready because I'm actually about
That just kind of abruptly ends, doesn't it?
to go get some labs done. I'm going to just explain this in case you guys haven't watched my past videos. I have hypothyroidism. My doctor wants to
Questionable.
see like what is the underlying cause of my thyroid being like this. So he's testing me for an autoimmune disease called Hashimoto's, whatever it's called.
And I still think it's interesting that this person who has spent their entire YouTube career spending almost every single minute talking about food and eating food, and it's clearly about all she thinks about. But then all of a sudden now, that's not the cause of the weight gain. It's the thyroid or Hashimoto or something. It's just kind of convenient, you know?
I used to not be able to pronounce hypothyroidism, so now that I know how to pronounce that, it gives me hope that I will learn how to pronounce the words that I'm not good at pronouncing. Words that I will always pronounce, kind of Hecticana,
You.
wolf, milk, eggs. People say that I pronounce those words weird, but like my mom also pronounces them that way, so I think it's just like something I grew up doing. Oh, my mom's calling me. That was weird. Do you guys ever leave the house without...
She's always blaming her mom for everything. Even just saying things weird, she's got to blame her mom for something. Here's the crazy thing. All she had to do was say, yeah, I say that stuff weird. Period. That's all you had to say. Like, even if it's true, right? Like, even if she actually did get that pronunciation from her mom, you can just leave her out of it sometimes.
Oh, your important documents. Literally almost just left without my lab requests. I still have my sticker on here. I got these from Torrid because I like to have a pop of pink. They're pretty cute. I wish my hair was down today.
So, you know, she has these hauls where she shows us that she's bought a lot of stuff. And then she also buys stuff that she doesn't show. I mean, obviously, right? Of course, she's going to buy things that she doesn't show, but it just makes me wonder how much stuff she's buying that she doesn't show because she's showing a lot. So, I don't know.
But not in the mood. Got my papers. I'm ready to go. I think I'm just going to go outside now. All right, got my blood drawn, so we are done with that. Hello, welcome to the next day, actually. I don't know about y'all, but like with the weather getting more warm and hotter, like I just do not want to wear my hair down, but I also do not want to be in the habit of wearing my hair up all the time because I personally don't like my hair up, but it's helpful during warmer days. So it actually just stopped raining. The rain has eased up, folks. Like it has just been so stormy lately, and I'm like, oh my god, why is this happening? Like I don't mind a storm. Thunderstorms, lightning, etc., used to scare me irrationally for some reason, but I've graduated.
It has to be irrationally. She literally cannot just say, I don't like a thing, or it used to scare me. It has to be a mental illness. Because here's the thing. If you said, hey, a storms used to scare me, most of us would understand that, right? When we were kids or when we were younger. Yeah, they can be scary. It's like she physically cannot help herself. She said, I was scared of it. And then she was like, oh, I got to make it worse than that. Irrationally.
Graduated from that era, and I do enjoy a storm. But the thing is, I don't enjoy the tornadoes. By the way, I'm going to be a furry mess.
Did she really just say, I don't enjoy the tornadoes? Yeah. They're tornadoes.
today. Like, a part of me wants to get rid of this outfit because I pet my fur babies literally all day long, and this type of material literally attaches to their fur hardcore. Like, what I mean by that is literally all day long I'm going to be picking fur and their little fur baby particles, for the lack of a better word, off of my clothes.
What is happening? What are we doing here? Is this really content? Really? This is what you're gonna do, is sit and talk about how this particular outfit attracts fur?
Clothing all day long, because that's just like the material this is. But I like it because it's cute, striped, I don't know. But like, there's just certain type of materials that you shouldn't wear if you plan on cuddling your fur babies. But this is just one of those moments where I'm like, if I look like a mess, it's literally just because I am. Okay, so this is actually the...
Okay, so on Reddit, somebody called this little thing here her liver tits. And I was like, that's really messed up, but it stuck with me.
The full outfit here. I've had this dress for literally ever, but I forgot all about it. Super cute. Like, I personally...
I'm guessing the doctor's scale was telling the truth. Whatever that number was that scared her was telling the truth.
I love a good stripe, and also really enjoy the colors, black and maroon. All right, guys, so I got a new mesh shirt from Amazon. I'm not sure how I feel about it because it looks like a disease of some sort in person. I don't know. I also got a new brush. I realized I really love this brand. I use it for my foundation. I use it for my blush, but I got some bronzer and I needed a brush for it. I got the Buttermelt bronzer. This is actually what I use for blush, and this Buttermelt NYX brand that they have going. This is in the color Deserve Butter. And then I got some new eyebrow stuff. So I got 305 Soft Brow Maybelline. I've been using the same e.l.f. eyebrow stuff for like literally a decade, so I figured I would try something different. All right, you guys, I want to show you a meal that I have been ordering lately. So it's from this restaurant called BJ's. It's soba noodles, and it's genuinely delish. So it's soba noodles, obviously, in a peanut sauce with chicken, broccoli, almonds, carrots. Normally I'm creeped out by chicken, but I've told you guys.
No, you're not. Stop saying that. You eat chicken all the time. You eat McDonald's chicken all the time. You are not creeped out by chicken. Shut up. That is such a stupid thing to say, especially when you eat chicken constantly. Shut up.
Before, actually, that the chicken here at BJ's is so good. Like, there's no weird tendons, there's no weird textures, it doesn't look weird, it's cooked well. Look how delicious this looks. It's honestly amazing. Hello. So
yeah, most restaurants have delicious food. Get over it.
it's been a little bit. I'm actually doing some laundry. I use the Moonlight Gain for dryer sheets. And for the actual wash, I use the Gain Moonlight Breeze liquid stuff. The best. So I was supposed to get my results today, but I did not get them. So I'm hoping that I get them tomorrow. So my doctor...
Here's the thing. We know Amber is boring. We know she has nothing going on, nothing to show when she does a vlog. And she would say, well, if I'm so boring, then why do you keep watching me? Why don't you go watch somebody else? Blah, blah, blah. Well, true. Touche, except every once in a while she says something that's a little nugget, right? There's a little gold nugget in the dirt that we're watching right now. But what she doesn't understand is if it's boring to us, it's going to be boring for her actual fans. They are going to get bored with this. They're not going to want to keep hearing about her dishwashing operations. They're not going to want to keep hearing about what, laundry detergent she's using. This stuff is boring, even to your biggest fans. So you need to get some interesting things happening. If you've got a girlfriend, step it up. Let's get them on the show. You're going to start losing views faster than you already are.
Doctor never really told me, if I do have Hashimoto's, what is that going to mean? What do I do for it? I am hoping that I do not have that and that...
So I still don't particularly buy that she has hypothyroidism. And the main reason for that is on the same day, she had a diabetes test and the thyroid test. And she was real quick to show the results for the diabetes test, but still has not shown anything for the thyroid results. And is just claiming to have hypothyroidism, which, again, is a pretty convenient excuse for a lot of her behavior. And I think this Hashimoto thing is just another thing that she's heard about. I think she has found what she thinks is the perfect excuse for being able to eat whatever she wants. And then pretend like she's not, right? She can pretend like, you guys, I'm only eating 2,000 calories a day, but I keep gaining weight. But you know why? It's that hypothyroidism. What can you do? That's her plan. But She says this thing like, I don't even know what I'm supposed to do if I have Hashimoto, but what difference does it make? Either A, you don't actually have it, so you're just saying this because you're full of shit, or B, let's say you do have it, right? Let's say this is all true and you actually get diagnosed with Hashimoto. If you get told you have to do anything outside of your normal routine and what you want to do, you're just not going to do it, at least not long term. You tend to start things and then quickly realize that it's not very fun to do those things, and then you quit. You could be told, hey, you have Hashimoto, you have to drink a small bit of water once a day. You wouldn't do it. So who cares? Who cares what you're supposed to do? Because you're not going to do it anyway.
I am hoping that I do not have that and that just taking this thyroid medicine can just fix my thyroid. I don't know. I guess a lot of women after their 30s actually get this disease. It's genuinely crazy how much like your body truly changes once you're in your 30s. Like I feel like I've gotten more mature, level-headed, but like my health definitely gone downhill. But I can fix that.
Does she even hear herself at all? Does she listen to herself? Like, why do you think that is? Why do you think your health has gone? I'm over 40 and my health has gone over the last 5 or 6 years.
This is how my arm looks from getting my blood drawn yesterday. So tell me, are you guys one of those people where it's hard to find a vein or it's easy? For me, it's easy, thankfully. I did have an era, maybe like 7 years ago, even
That's why there's a huge bruise there. Okay. But I think she's saying that because she wants to make it seem like, yeah, I'm fat, but my veins are easy to find, so it's not that bad.
Actually, during my cancer journey, it was kind of hard for them to find a vein sometimes. I don't know, in the last few years, like my veins just like are there. They're just really easy to be seen. And I know that's shocking because like for heavier people, veins are harder to find. That's just like how it is. But mine is just like always there, and they always do my right arm. I think it's just because naturally I just put out my right arm, so then I think they just go ahead and assume this is the one. But yeah, thankfully, like I've only ever once, again, it was—
What? I put out my right arm so they assume this is the one?
I just put out my right arm, so then I think they just go ahead and assume this is the one.
The one what? If you put the arm out, that is the one. That's the one that you gave them. I'm not sure what that meant.
It was during my cancer journey. Ever had them go through my hand, and it was right before my hysterectomy. They did it through my hand. Oh my God, that was scary. All right, Snacklin. I'm craving.
So I've had it once, I think, in my hand, and it hurt. Like it hurt a lot more than in the arm, but scary? I'm not sure what she means by that. Oh, also, this is an interesting shot. She used this angle before where there was flooding and stuff and she was looking out the window. And there was some speculation around Girl World that the reason this angle was used was so that she doesn't accidentally show something, right? And I think the kind of prevailing theory is that it is the puppy pads that she doesn't want to show. Now, it could be anything, honestly. It could be like a hoarder's situation in there. It could be a chair that she doesn't want us to see. It could be a mop. It could be all kinds of things because she knows that whatever is in that room, people are going to dissect every frame and be like, girl, what's this? What's that little thing right there? What's this? I saw this little thing there. What's that? And so there's something in this room or in this kind of area that she doesn't want us to see. Puppy pads are a pretty good idea. I think that's most likely it, but you know, with Amber, you just never know. It could be a lot of things.
A snack. I'm gonna have some of this uncured peppered salami. This is like one of my favorite. Highly, highly recommend. It's so good. And then for my sweet tooth, which I highly recommend, are these milk chocolate sea salt caramels. The brand is Favorite Day, and you get 3 of them for 150 calories.
Girl, you need to calculate your calories based on what is in the container. You know you can't just eat 3. It would be nice if you could, but you're not there. You know? So if you're going to allow yourself to have these, you need to count the calories in the whole bag. And here's the thing. I lost 100 pounds. And breakfast, lunch, and dinner are still my favorite times of the day. I still look forward to eating. But I have found foods that I enjoy that are lower calorie than what I used to eat. And I limit my food intake to breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I rarely snack anymore. And that's why I look forward to those times, because I still love food. Now, I'm not nearly as addicted to it as Amber is, but it is something that I look forward to and I still enjoy. And then I also convince myself that it's okay to be hungry sometimes, but you are going to need help. You can't assume you're going to eat 3 pieces. You're just not.
I find that caramel is actually pretty low calorie. It's just not realistic for me to never have anything sweet again for the rest of my life. So I just have to make it work. So I really enjoy having like 2 or 3 of these. And then this is what they look like. Do keep in mind my hands are kind of small. Yes, I get it, they're fat, but like they're small. Same with my feet. I have small feet, but they're fat, just like my hands. Small but fat. And it's just...
She says, I have to be able to have sweets, so I'm going to have to make it work. That's great and all, but you alone cannot do that. You just can't. Stop thinking that you can. You need help. You cannot do this on your own. You can't brute force your way into thinking about food differently. You're going to need help. I was able to do it, but at the beginning, it was really hard. I had to constantly be telling myself, no, you can't have this. you don't need this. I don't want this. But it gets easier. But you need that help to get started.
Super delicious. Look at it. Shout out to the water gods. Amberlynn finally found the way to do it. I'm telling you, why am I obsessed with drinking water now? I know.
She does things for like a day or two and then is like, habit. I've got a habit now. This is something I'm doing for the rest of my life. Nailed it. Let's check in again in about 2 weeks. See how much water she's drinking.
I do not use sink/tap water for my ice that I put in here. Nobody wants a frozen worm, you silly bouncy bubbles.
Does that sound familiar? It sounded familiar to me. And guess what happens when that ice melts in your water? It frees the worms.
Listen, this whole vlog has been filmed. I'm currently editing it. It just started storming outside. Yet again, I'm watching the live news on and off while I edit this. I don't know how much more I can take of these storms, folks. I use my...
You know, the funny thing about this whole water thing is if you had just been honest from the beginning and just said, I don't like the taste of tap water, everybody would have said, okay, I get that. And we would have moved on. But you just have to be quirky. You have to make it about a disorder or mental health. You can't help yourself. So you bring this on yourself. If you would just say what you're actually thinking and feeling, you wouldn't get nearly as much hate or criticism as you do.
A gallon of water, and I make ice that way. I add the ice, the water. I'm about to refill this. So I'm going to be drinking like 1.5 of these today, which is really good for me. So I took this gallon of water, I poured it in my ice tray, and then I add the ice to my freezer. And then once they're all frozen, which they freeze pretty quickly because they're so small, I put them in my little ice tray, and then I have like an ice scooper so I don't have to touch it with my hands. Showing you guys my build.
So talk about bougie, right? Using bottled water to make ice. Come on. What a waste of money.
Last vlog motivated me to complete it. So I already showed you guys these 2 that I completed, which is the spade and the heart, but I did the club. Look how cute it is. So the one I'm working on now is actually the diamond, and then I will have the whole collection. So as you guys remember in my last vlog, I talk about how my scale is broken. I ordered a new one and it was just delivered. So let's go get it. All right, you guys. So I did get my scale, but I don't like going to bed with wet hair personally. So I'm gonna get my shower over with. But I actually have watched an episode.
Okay. She's gonna take her shower. This is where she's gonna be talking about Tammy Slayton, I'm guessing.
Episode of 1,000 Pound Sisters today. I'm still watching from last season when they were in the UK. And I don't know, like, seeing Tammy be able to do that, like go to a different country, like it brought tears to my eyes. Like, I just think that's...
You mean you might like to actually go do something? I got this jacket when I went to New York City with my family and saw Wicked on Broadway last year. With your life, actually experience something other than the inside of your apartment and the bingo hall and restaurants. And that's the saddest part about Amber is she could go out and enjoy life and see the sights and see anything she wanted to see. As much money as she makes, or at least for now, as much money as she makes, she could go just about anywhere she wants. But eating her favorite foods is far more important than any of that. And it always will be. It's a shame, man.
Genuinely so freaking inspirational. It's beautiful.
I've enjoyed it with my family.
Like, I just think that's genuinely so freaking inspirational. It's beautiful. Like, yes, she has to use a scooter while there, even though she has lost over 400 pounds. But like, who cares?
Of course. It can't just be she's inspirational, I like her, cool. She has to give a backhanded compliment. She has to point out that there's something wrong with Tammy. Man, that is a narcissist thing to do, absolutely. Because think about why she even brought that up. What is the point in saying, I mean, yeah, she still has to use a scooter. You know, and of course she's trying to say, I mean, yeah, she has to use a scooter, and there's nothing wrong with that. And that's another narcissist thing to do, right? To pretend like this backhanded compliment is altruism. Like she's sticking up for Tammy. But no, she just had to bring that up. What she could have said about the scooter was nothing. She could have just said, I'm so glad that Tammy got to go to the UK and experience all this great stuff. Good for her. It's an inspiration. And then stop talking. But she had to bring in the scooter because it's ingrained in her to think it makes her look better to make other people look bad. And so she'll take any little opportunity to kind of jab at anybody else.
I do not want her to feel bad about that at all. Like, people have to use...
So I didn't know how old Tammy Slayton was. I really thought she was like in her 50s or 60s, but she's younger than I am. She's 38. So, of course, she had a lot of help. And that, Amber says, it's so inspirational. Apparently not. You get inspired by everything, but nothing ever sticks. And I understand Tammy needing a scooter. She spent most of her life so big that she could barely move. She was scooter bound for most of her life. If she started losing weight, let's say Amber lost 200 pounds, right? Got down to 350-ish. And she went to Disney World. We would understand if she needed to use a scooter to get around Disney World because that's a lot of walking, a lot of, just moving around. Same as if she went to the UK or to Paris or something to go see the sights, she would need a scooter to get around that much. But the grocery store? I don't think you should need a scooter for the grocery store. Now, you claim that you don't use a scooter in the grocery store, but you claim a lot of things.
Have to use scooters for multiple different reasons. But girl, you're in the UK. Like, it's just so beautiful. She inspires so many people, including me, and it's just, I love seeing it. I love seeing it. I know there's actually a current season happening, and I don't like spoiler alerts, so I know nothing about it. I'm just happy to see that they have a new season, like when it's almost summertime. Usually it's around winter when it comes out. So that makes me wonder if they're still filming. Like, me and Tammy are friends on Facebook. We've said a couple things to each other, nothing like crazy, but really I just tell her that.
Yeah, in the past, she has claimed to be like Tammy's best friend. She's like, I know somebody in the industry, in showbiz, but actually I found the original kind of video that started the interaction between Amberlynn and the Slayton sisters, and it was actually Amy making fun of Amberlynn, and so this is pretty funny.
So, I just wanted to say, what's up, Becky?
Amber, what do you want from the Chinese restaurant?
Make sure you order me orange chicken. I just want to talk to y'all guys about this new weight loss I am talking about keto. I guess I can weigh in now. Hello, I'm ready. 571 pounds. Oh my god, you guys, I'm just so swollen.
So there you go. That's kind of what started their interaction. So yeah, they're real good friends, you guys. And I think they claim to have made up since then, but this happened.
We've said a couple things to each other, nothing like crazy, but really I just tell her that she's amazing and such an inspiration. She probably gets that every single day, all day long, but like, I mean it so hard. Like, as deep as my heart goes, that's where it's there. All right, you guys. So the scale that I got.
As deep as my heart goes? What does that mean? Is she trying to say that she can like feel harder than most people? Of course she is. I wouldn't be surprised. I guarantee you what she meant by that was that with her BPD, she just feels extra hard for everybody because she's also an empath.
Is the XL 700. The brand is My Weight, and it is a talking scale. I'm pretty sure it comes with batteries, but just in case that it doesn't, I do have tons of batteries, so it doesn't even matter. So I'm pretty sure it's the same brand as the scale I have now. It does look a little bit different though. I think the other one only weighs up to 550, the one that I have now actually. So what I like about the scale is it is wide.
So think about what's happening here, okay? She claims she broke her scale by knocking it off the counter when she was cleaning. And then all of a sudden, she decided, you know what? I might as well just get the 700-pound thing. The other one only went up to 550. Are we buying that? Or has she just maxed the limit of that other one? Because think about this. If she was going to get another scale just because hers was broken, why wouldn't she just get another 550 one? Why did she need to get a bigger one? She said that she couldn't believe the number on the doctor's office's scale. It concerned her, so she didn't want to believe it. And then, all of a sudden, whoops, knocked mine off, and now it's broken. Got to get the one that goes up to 700. And I will be gobsmacked if she actually shows this one or plays the clip of this one saying whatever weight she is now.
So for us thick thighs, girlies and boyies and non-binaries, it's good. So you feel more like level on it. But this is what it looks like.
Also a little side tangent here for a second. When she mentioned the non-binary, it just made me think of it. She did a poll in her members only live that just asked, you know, what sexual orientation are you basically? And it said gay, half gay, and straight. What is half gay? That sounds awfully biphobic. Is that a word? I mean, no, neither is fatphobic, but we're just going to say it is. But it sounds like somebody who just doesn't want to use the term bi or is afraid of the term bi. And not being bi myself, I can't really speak to whether or not it is for sure derogatory or mean, but it just sounded strange. It may very well be perfectly acceptable, but I don't know. Just thought it was weird.
I have had this scale before. And no, I will not be weighing myself right now because it is nighttime and I have 8 and everything else. So let's see. Does it come with
Surprise, surprise. Nope, we're not going to hear it.
Batteries? So you need 4 AA batteries. Let's look in the back here. Okay, well, there's no batteries there. I put it on the edge of the counter. Hopefully this one doesn't fall off like my other one did, and that's how it broke. Not a bunch of videos in my recommend.
Okay, that's how it broke. For sure, just knocking it off the counter. You know how scales, they get on those counters all the time.
Not a bunch of videos in my recommended saying Amberlynn broke her scale. It's like people will clickbait anything about me. Like
So why are we showing up in your recommended? Miss, I don't watch reaction channels. Sounds like you're watching all the reaction channels. If that's what's in your recommended feed. Just a thought. But also, you did break your scale.
It doesn't fall off like my other one did, and that's how it broke. Oh! They're the batteries. I don't know. I definitely feel weight gain. I will say that. Like, I'm still able to do everything. Like, obviously I live by myself, but things are harder, duh. Like, something that someone would do that's like 120 pounds, obviously is probably harder for me as someone who's over 500. So that's why whenever I say, like,
that's why you're missing out on so much life.
Yeah, things are, you know, a little bit harder for me as a bigger person. People are so amazed by it.
If you've ever said that, if you've ever said things are harder for me at my size, nobody has ever been amazed. I promise. Nobody has ever thought, wait, what? Really? Because that's obvious, first of all. People are amazed because you continually act like it's not that way. You're constantly acting like there's no issues being that size. What are you talking about? Who has ever said they're amazed or surprised by the fact that you struggle at your size. We all know that. We all know that everything you do is harder because of your size. But we all also know that given your resources, given your time, you have had so many opportunities to change that. And you choose not to. You can pretend all day long that there's some other force at play here, that it's some disorder or disease or something. But it's your choices that have gotten you here right now. So don't sit there and pretend like we're all surprised that you struggle at your size. Of course you do, obviously. In fact, I would guarantee that you struggle far more than you show on camera. Even the guy who took a picture with you in Walmart was actually the brother of a hater, quote unquote, who said, if you ever see Amberlynn, see if you can take a picture, because he lives in Oklahoma City. And he said, you were winded. You could barely breathe. So I think you film a minute or two at a time when you know your breathing is fine. And then when you turn the camera off, you go back to huffing and puffing and barely being able to do anything. So when you said you could walk for a mile, I call grade A 100% Wagyu bullshit on that.
Don't be amazed. And then they run with it. It's really not that spectacular or something to run with because it's pretty obvious. But my whole thing is when it's talking to me. My favorite thing is when overweight men, obese men, say that I'm eating too much. Men need more calories than females. Goodbye. So already you're outing yourself. Like, you're obese too. I mean, you're in the same club. It's okay.
Who's she talking about? Any ideas? I'm trying to think of who would be saying that. Obese men saying that she's eating too much. That she would be mad about. I mean, Jordy's not obese. Mr. Snowflake's not obese. The Ankle's not obese. I can't think of anybody in girl world who's obese that she would be watching or know about. So let me know who that is. Who's she talking about? But girl, you don't have to have a PhD to see that you are eating too much. I mean, you just are. Anybody can see that. And it's so funny because she's acting like the man being obese has anything to do with whether or not she's eating too much, right? If an obese person looks at her and says, girl, you're eating too much, that's just because they have eyes, right? Them being obese themselves has nothing to do with it. It's not like they're saying, girl, you eat too much and I don't. I don't know. I'm not sure why them being obese has anything to do with it. Here's the thing. I'm not obese, and I will tell you this. You're eating too much.
Especially when you're also morbidly obese. Like, we're both gonna die young, so let's both figure it out and stop judging me. Because I'm sure when you look in the mirror, you aren't happy with your choices either, you know? Hey guys, so I'm actually about to switch purses.
Yeah, but the thing is, there's not a cycle on the internet for that guy, whoever that person is. I don't know who it is, but whoever it is, that guy doesn't have his own cycle as a meme on the internet.
I've been using one of my favorite purses ever, and I was gonna say the longest one I've had. Does that make sense? The one I've had the longest, which is my Rebecca Minkoff. But I'm just gonna switch it to a smaller purse. It's just this really cute pink one. It's pretty much just a wallet, and that's what I want. So someone in my members live stream was like, can you do a what's in my purse? So I figured we could do that real quick in this video.
So I was gonna say that maybe that was a troll, but I can absolutely see some baby wanting to know what's in this ding dong's purse. Like, I bet it's boring, whatever it is.
First things first, I have my wallet here. There is obviously a debit card, ID. This thing I won at bingo. It's just like a free, you pick them because it's something I won, so they just gave that to me for free. We have some coins. I have Twinkie and Wasabi's little Raby tags in there. And then, I don't know, like $40. Nothing special.
Usually she shows like a wad of cash or like a stack of cash.
What is this? The receipt when I got my labs done. Another folded paper. Oh, a vet receipt. I always bring a charger with me. Oh, okay. I guess we also have a gold hoop earring as well. We have another receipt. What is this for? UPS receipt. Another receipt. We have a Walmart receipt. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pens. The other hoop. This one's actually from bingo, so I need to give that back to them. I guess I just accidentally put it in my purse. And I have all these cute pens here. I have a lipstick, which is in the brand Mel. I have the Rebecca
I just can't do it. I can't take this shit no more, man.
I love having one of these in my purse. CarMax, another pen. That's 6 pence. CarMax.
She just said CarMax. Isn't that a place where you buy cars? What she showed was CarMex.
Another pen. That's 6 pence. A business card someone gave me. I think that's it. So I'm gonna choose what I'm gonna put in this purse. So everything that's in my wallet, I'm gonna put in there for sure. And then I'm definitely gonna put these lipsticks, my CarMax, my perfume. Is this even gonna fit? It does fit in this. Perfect. And then I'm gonna take back the bingo pens and then keep a cute pen. And then everything fits in here perfectly. So I never put my phone in my purse. I always just have it with me, like either in my pocket or my bra or in my hand. Hello, so we have another storm update. I took a break from editing because I was just getting kind of anxious because the wind is 70 miles per hour and it genuinely sounds like a tornado's outside. It's pouring, it's flooding on my street again. I remember I actually Googled like a month ago, why does it flood so much in Oklahoma? And it all made sense while I was reading it, but I didn't absorb a single bit of information. So I don't even remember what the answer was, but it made sense, I promise. It goes away rather quickly, I'm not gonna lie. But I don't know if you guys hear the thunder, the rain. It's kind of Hecticana right now.
Ew.
But I'm gonna finish editing this. I'm gonna take a melatonin and I'm hoping to sleep through it, but somehow I doubt that. Let's do comment of the day.
So it has been pretty stormy here lately, no doubt. But, I mean, I don't know any adults that act this way with storms. My kids are 10 and 12 and they just sleep through them. In fact, they've gotten now to the point where even if it starts storming before they go to bed, they will just go to bed and sleep through it. Because they know if something happens, we will wake them up. It's just another thing for her to get sympathy for, you know? The two most important things for her, as far as her narcissistic supply, are sympathy, making people feel sorry for her. She loves it when people feel sorry for her. And being right. She loves it when she can tell somebody that they're wrong, or if somebody in the comments tells her that she was right about something. Those are the two things that she lives for. Getting the sympathy and being told she was right. And these storms, I think she sees as an opportunity to get a lot of sympathy for being so scared and so anxious. So I almost agreed with this comment until I got to the end. You're almost in your 40s. Stop with the piggy tails, although it is suiting. No, it is not. She looks like a dingus in her piggy tails. However, I will say, this person, I think, has the right idea, because in order to get through to Amber, you have to make sort of a compliment sandwich, you know? Be like, man, I love what you've done with your hair. Those pigtails, I mean, they're a little immature for your age, but I know, even though they look really good, maybe do something else. You know, the criticism has to be really nice and almost make it seem like it's her idea to change it, you know? Because when she gets something that says, hey, you look like an idiot in those pigtails, she will wear them just to spite those people.
Brittany Bubby said, you're almost in your 40s. Stop with the piggy tails, although it is suiting. So for one, I am not almost in my 40s. I'm only 34. So I feel like that's like telling a 14-year-old that they're almost in their 20s. And it's like telling a 24-year-old they're almost in their 30s. It's just not the case. For two, you can be in your 80s and still wear pigtails. For a minute there, I was questioning my sanity, so I went onto Google, I typed in pigtails, I went to the images. 85% of the people that pop up on there are adults. I then did it on TikTok, nothing but adults. I just had to see if I was the only adult actually sporting pigtails. I love pigtails.
So I looked up pigtails on TikTok, and there are some adults, but first of all, the adults that are not really, really young adults have pigtails that kind of come out the bottom here. Pretty much the only ones that are wearing the pigtails on top like she does are really, really young adults, like barely adults. So I hate to break it to you, Amber, but you are closer to me in age than you are to them by a wide margin. These people are like 20 years old, early 20s. The majority of people wearing pigtails are far younger than you are, and the rest of them are kids. So, but I actually have another theory as to why she is going on this weird tangent about fashion and like wearing really weird stuff right now, and why she's always worn like weird hairdos, like the Shih Tzu hairdo and things like that. And I think I'm going to make a whole video on that because I think there's more to it than just that she's weird, you know? But I will show you exactly who Amber thinks she is.
And I'm not gonna stop wearing them. My word of advice, and actual advice that I do take myself, wear what you love, whether it's clothing, a hairstyle, makeup, it doesn't matter. Just be you. As long as you're not hurting anybody and you feel comfortable and happy with the makeup style you have, the hairstyle you do, the clothing you wear, that is all that matters. It's you wearing it, not them. Vashta Narada.
I mean, yeah, I guess. But then just be ready for what people are going to say. Especially if you're going to do it on the internet. You know, if you're just wandering around and, you know, just living your best life and you want to wear weird stuff, then yeah, absolutely. But if you're going to be on the internet, you just got to be ready for what people are going to say about it, because they're going to say something about it.
Ada67 said, you actually thought you weighed 350. I laughed so hard I peed a little. And I'm simply not just going to read the rest of that. If you actually listen to.
And no, she didn't think she weighed 350. In fact, I think what she was saying was it said she weighed 350 and that's how she knew it was broken.
The video, you would see that when I stepped on the scale and I saw 350, that's when I knew my scale is broke. So no, I did not think I weighed 350. I don't know where you got that from. I'm not even remotely close to that. Samad Ladecima 5929 said, OMG, I love the red hearts on black mesh. I'm pissed I didn't get it on sale. Hee hee. Thank you. It's actually super cute. And you can get it on Amazon for only $19. So it's pretty cheap and definitely worth it. So if you want to know exactly what store on Amazon, this is the one. I do not know how to pronounce it, so I figured I would show you guys. And heads up, I actually placed a Torrid. I placed a Torrid haul. I got some stuff from Torrid, okay? Today, because they have these new dresses and my fingers are crossed that I like them on me. I guess we'll see. They're super cute though online, but you guys know how that goes. Sometimes it looks cute online and sometimes it does not look cute in person.
But notice that this woman is wearing it on the outside of something, you know? She's not wearing something over it that is a clashing pattern.
So that is the end of this vlog. You guys have been messaging me on Instagram saying that you've loved the vlogs and you love that I keep them pretty lengthy. So I'm glad that you guys have been enjoying that. Anyways, I hope that you guys enjoyed this one and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.
Got her. Do you buy that? Do you buy that people are messaging her saying we love this new vlog style? Like it's a nothing burger. It's a constant nothing burger. Of course, that's just her life. Nothing burger. The Amberlynn Reid story. I just don't think anybody's telling her that. And they're gonna keep getting more and more boring because she has less and less to talk about. She needs a side character, or she needs something to happen. Actually have something to talk about. Like her views are rapidly declining because she is getting to be so boring. She can't even really clickbait all that well anymore, you know? But you know, this has happened before. In fact, it's kind of another cycle that she's on where she gets really, really boring and then something blows up, something happens and she gets a lot of attention from like a new girlfriend or some new drama happens or something and her views start going back up. And it's amazing to me that that hasn't clicked for her yet. That the drama is what people want. That's what's going to give her views. And the weird thing is, you'd think she would know that because the way she clickbaits her titles, she's trying to make it seem like there is drama. She's trying to make it more dramatic than it is. Because she knows that that's what gives her views. But she just wants to be boring. And I've really been kind of toying with the idea of doing some live streams where we do some live Amberlynn Reid bingo. I think that would be a lot of fun, but I'm also real nervous because I've never done anything live. And you guys have no idea how much like stuttering and just screw ups that I edit out. So we'll see. But anyway, I appreciate you guys so much. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.